Welcome back, students. Now we are going to discuss about key concepts in relation to development administration. Before we understand about what do you mean by development, we need to understand about the key concepts in relation to the development administration. Why is it important? Because these key concepts will help us in understanding the concept of development administration in a better way. And at the same time, when we are trying to adopt or keep the development administration approach in our mind before we look at or study any administrative mechanism, key concepts are going to help us in terms of applying the approach called development administration. So, these key concepts are very important and crucial in terms of application of the approach called development administration to understand the administrative mechanisms in different countries. So, they are goal orientation, change orientation, client orientation, ecology, and the concept of administrative development. These are five concepts that will help us in understanding the development administration concept in a better way. When you talk about goal orientation, administration, when you talk about especially in the context of development, is purposive and goal driven. What do you mean by that? Development administration is purposive and goal driven. So, when you are talking about establishing an administration, it should have a purpose. Why we are establishing particular office, particular department, particular ministry. Remember, when you talk about administration, when you talk about government, government we may say as a whole, as a system. But when you look at inside the government, you will find government is divided into different ministries, and each ministry is divided into different departments. So, every department, when they are establishing, when they are closing, it will have its own purpose. For example, recently postal department has stopped providing services to telegram. So, means what? It means that over a period of time, the services which are provided by the postal department through telegram has become irrelevant in the emergence of information and communication technology. So, what does it mean? It means that the services that the government is going to start should have a purpose. Without a purpose, government cannot start any service. It is wastage of public expenditure, public money. So, development administration is purposive and also goal driven. When we are providing a particular service, when we are implementing a particular policy in the context of development administration or welfare policies, it will have its own goals, it will have its own targets. Who should be benefited through this policy, how much money needs to be given, how they should implement it. Everything is goal orientation or what we call goal driven. So, the goals are ambitious, reducing poverty and also enhancing what we call industrialization, building democracy and social justice. So, these are some broad goals every state usually tries to achieve. So, to achieve these goals, you need to have an administration. So, when we are talking about what we call development administration, what we are trying to deal with is about the achieving the goals. So, public administration, on the other hand, you may say that it is very generic. At the same time, when you talk about the development administration, it is very specific and it is have its own purpose, it will have its own goals to achieve. And second important concept is about change orientation. So, when you talk about development administration, development in especially in third world countries, it becomes very difficult. Without bringing changes, you can't bring development because of what you call they were ruled by the Britishers, and Britishers established their agencies for the fulfillment of colonial requirements. But whereas when it comes to the countries like India and Pakistan, Burma or Bhutan, Sri Lanka, in that case, they are going to start serving their own public with their own public interest. So, there is nothing called colonial interest here. So, automatically certain changes are required to bring so that they can bring what you call development in through the administration. So, unlike traditional bureaucracy which values stability and adherence to rules, development administration is change oriented. It seeks to transform society. So, the ultimate goal of the development administration is bringing change. Remember one thing, that sometimes, closely follow my words here, to bring change you need to be change orientation. That is very important. So, the ultimate goal may be bringing change, but to bring changes there should be change within when we use the word within the administration. So, government administration has to be change oriented. Third one is about client orientation. Development administration must reach the public, especially the marginalized sections. It is people centric, not just procedural centric. Straight away comparing with traditional administration, which is procedural centric, establishment centric, hierarchy centric, when it comes to the development administration, it is more about people centric, means administration is for people. Administration is meant for people. People are not meant for administration. That basic distinction we can easily understand by studying, by comparing between development administration and the public administration. Very important another concept is ecology, that you might have studied as part of comparative public administration, wherein we will realize that environment plays predominant role in terms of shaping the administration. So administration, if they wanted to bring development in society, they cannot ignore the facts of what we call ecology. So F.W. Riggs, who proposed comparative public administration, when we are talking about development administration, acknowledges that development programs cannot be designed in isolation from a culture, from the cultural point of view, social point of view, political context. You need to accept the fact that these are the social realities and we have to take forward along with this. So in a simple terms, for example, for the colleges and schools, why the holidays are there only during the April, May and June? The simple answer is these administrations of colleges and schools accept the fact that during these months, summer, the temperature in the environment will be very high and students may not be able to bear these heat waves and they may not be able to attend the classes. So it is nothing but that is in a simple way you need to understand that administration should accept its surroundings, its environment. Accordingly, they need to plan the development policies. Another important aspect is the concept of administrative development. As we discussed in terms of dimensions to development administration, another important dimension is administrative development. Means this refers to improving the capacity, efficiency and responsiveness of the administrative systems itself. Training civil servants, modernizing procedures, decentralizing authority, adopting information communication technology to foster the administrative process is very much important in the context of development administration. Means first of all, administration should be ready, should be efficient, should be capable, should be responsive towards developing the society. So taking together these concepts, if you try to club all together, development administration is goal oriented, it is change oriented, it is client oriented, and it also considers that administration is not alone, it is surrounded by the environment. It also accepts the fact that before they start focusing on the development of society, the development of administration itself is more important. Remember one thing, students, these all key concepts are not cannot be studied in an isolated way. Each concept complements the other. As I told, that change orientation is very important before we fix the goals. At the same time, client orientation is also very important before we identify the beneficiaries of the policy. So administration, when you're talking about, you are talking about the goals, change orientation, clients orientation, and also ecology. As we discussed, that ecology plays predominant role, you cannot ignore the ecology when you are talking about the development of administration. It shapes the administrative behavior, and also at the same time administration should be strong, sound enough in terms of getting ready to serve the public. Then only it will become more relevant to the public. So though when we use the word public administration, in that development administration plays predominant role in terms of providing services to the public. So when the development administration is strong, then automatically you are going to get a sound administration and society moves towards the progressiveness. So with this, I hope you understand that when you talk about development administration, it is complementary to the public administration in general. At the same time, key components also will complement to each other in terms of achieving the development. So in this context, we need to understand that development administration is very specific and focused compared with the public administration.